I got asked. I don't think it was on stream. I think it was in my YouTube comments or something. Maybe it was on Reddit. I don't remember. I posted a video a few months back, and even before that, a few years ago, called "The Stick I Use Daily," or my new favorite fight stick. Those were the names of the videos. And the stick I used daily a few years back, or maybe a year ago now, was the Hori Fighting Stick Alpha. I still have it. I got a little makeover. It sits on my shelf. It's going to get one more personality makeover. I'm going to put silencing pads and these buttons so they're not so loud, and I'll just rock it with the Hori parts on it. It's no problem. I took the gravity parts off. I need to get a Sanwa bat top that's, what's the word I'm looking for here? That's matte instead of this real shiny Combo Prism bat top. I don't really like the Combo Prism bat top on this stick. It's 100% like an aesthetic choice. So that used to be my most used stick, and it's still one of my favorites. Like, I would absolutely take it with me to locals or whatever, and play on it if I didn't feel like looking around the Victrix, because the Victrix is heavier. But I got asked how in the world the Victrix became my most used fight stick over the Fighting Stick Alpha when I recommended to people the Fighting Stick Alpha over the Victrix. Like, I had a video where I said the comparison no one asked for: the Hori Fighting Stick Alpha or the Victrix Pro FS. And apparently there was exactly one guy looking for that, because he commented on it and said this was actually the exact comparison I was looking for. Thank you. And I basically said that if you're looking for a stick that's affordable and does the same thing a Victrix does, and you can customize it to slowly feel like a Victrix, just fucking buy the Fighting Stick Alpha, right? And then also you're able to put artwork on it if you don't want that metal finish, right? It fits all the same parts. It has a noir layout, which I think is more ergonomic than the basic Victrix layout. But overall, I recommend the Hori Fighting Stick Alpha to people more than I'd recommend the Victrix to people, especially for the price. Why I choose the Victrix over the Hori Fighting Stick Alpha is because, two things. I learned this isn't a traditional Victrix layout. There's actually slightly more space here than a normal Victrix layout. I was playing on the Combo Q8, and then I grabbed my Victrix out of my backpack and I put my hands on it. I was like, my hands feel further apart. So I got a tape measure. I own a tape measure. Why would I not? Like, it's so simple. And it's like it's about a half inch, maybe like 3/8 of an inch wider here than a traditional Victrix layout, which is actually kind of good, right? It makes the Victrix layout's deficiencies feel less so deficient, because now I'm only really worried about the button arch, but this button doesn't matter to me. I never use it, right? So in the noir layout, my finger ends up there and it's like perfectly aligned, and this one's a little higher. So it's like that. But I never fucking use this button anyway. I don't care about it. It doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't affect me. And this stick has more padding on the bottom, right? It has padding in the middle. I haven't added aftermarket padding to my Hori Fighting Stick Alpha. I probably should. It opens up from the bottom, and I think the system for opening and the way it looks on the inside is significantly cleaner, right? The wiring isn't as dingy looking. Like, if I open the other one, there's just exposed wires all over the place. This hinge it feels better, it feels sturdier. I don't like that it's just like a plastic hinge on the Fighting Stick Alpha. It's still a hinge, right? It's still a hinge, which means that it's already better than the Combo Titan and the Combo Obsidian 2. Sorry, but it's a subpar hinge compared to this one. I like these hand rests, or these handles a little more than the ones on the Fighting Stick Alpha. The Alpha has handles, but they're not as deep. They still work, but like, they don't feel as refined, probably just because this stick has the little side LEDs in here. And because they have that recess for the side LEDs, you can fit your hand really well. That's really the main factors to why I choose this stick over the Hori Fighting Stick Alpha. Also, this is full aluminum. I'm not making it feel like fake aluminum by still having some amount of plastic on it. All of this entire top piece is aluminum, where on that I had to actually just put an aluminum panel on it, and there's still some amounts of plastic that I can't get rid of, really, truly. There's no way to. They're part of the body. And I already own both. The difference is, if I mention it, I mention it coming from the perspective of someone who's trying to figure out which one to buy. Like, oh, you don't own either, and you're trying to figure out which one to get. Then the answer, I will tell you, the answer is probably the Hori Fighting Stick Alpha. You won't really notice the differences if you don't own both. But as soon as you own both, you might choose one over the other for some of the reasons that I've listed. Or maybe you're just such a big noir layout shill like I used to be. I'm a really big fan of the noir layout, TBH. That's why one of my most used fight sticks is still the Hori Fighting Edge, is because it has the noir layout and the full aluminum top, right? That's basically what I tried to do with that stick, was make it feel like a cross between a Fighting Edge and a Victrix. Are y'all doing anything tomorrow in CC? Tomorrow? Friday? I don't think so. They do stuff on Saturdays. No Fridays. Whoa. So because I already own both, having the extra, just little amounts of luxury on this stick in comparison feel better. Also, the default cable solution in the Hori Fighting Stick Alpha, I think is hot garbage. It's kind of ass. It's not worse than having, it's worse than having a removable cable, but it's not as bad as like the new Kanba way of holding cables, right? Like the Titan and the Drone basically have the most minimal cable storage solution that should probably be reserved only for the lowest end fight sticks. And I don't know what kind of shit they were smoking with the Obsidian 2, because that cable storage solution deserves to get someone fired with the Obsidian 2. It's really bad. It's fucking dog shit. Sorry. You know, Combo doesn't send me sticks. I can say whatever the fuck I want. Neither does Hori or Victrix, by the way. I paid for all these myself. And because I paid for them, like some of the differences for the price that I paid for both, I can kind of like offset the cost in my head and the justifications of, you know, like this one does feel a little bit better because I already own both. I'm not thinking about the price anymore. Like this one feels a little bit better. Like, yeah, retail is fucking $350 in comparison to $200. But I'm like, damn, like I already own it and it feels really good. Might feel a little bit better than the Fighting Stick Alpha. Just a little bit, marginally so. Outside of the Vuelix layout, slightly extended Vuelix layout in comparison to the Noir. I think if this had a Noir layout, I would never look back. I think that I would absolutely wholeheartedly, legitimately use this stick forever until it like gave out on me. Like, I actually really enjoy the body of the Victrix. I don't care that it's got its weird quirks with setting up L3, R3, and its weird quirks with setting up left stick, right stick, or D-pad. So does that. That, you have to set up your left stick, right stick, or D-pad in a software. This, you do it on the stick. But it's just a whole lot of bullshit with these buttons. The upside to these buttons is they're very sleek and they're very minimalistic, right? Like, you don't feel like there's a bunch of like Star Trek Enterprise bullshit panel up here like with the Obsidian 1 or like the Fighting Stick Alpha, right? It's not like the wraps where the buttons are on the side, unfortunately. So you really, like, the fact that this looks so much cleaner on the top and it has cool little LEDs and stuff, I fuck with this stick the hardest out of all my sticks. This is gonna be my daily driver for, I'm assuming, a really long time. But I just wanted to point that out because someone asked me why I swapped from the Hori Fighting Stick Alpha to the Victrix. I own both, so I just had to marginally choose which one had slightly better performance and preferences for me, and I chose this one. I don't blame anybody for choosing the Hori Fighting Stick Alpha over this, because they're essentially in the same genre of stick. I just think that this one has a lot more of the features and flair that I like and I'm looking for without having to adjust anything else.